Hello, everyone. Well, this is the video, the one you all been waiting for. I don't think, but it's just a video that I plan to do on my channel. My review of the Wow House Season 3. And no, my Link won't be joining me this time around, so this is going to be a single video. So, one's already watching. So if you're not a fan of the show, then I recommend you watch it first, and then you'll get. So, yeah, let's talk about the show. I'm gonna get my episodes list prepared. Oh, okay, there we are. Okay, now let's talk about. We're gonna talk about every single episode of the show. I may forget the storyline, but I know I watched them. So yeah, if you're wondering, let's talk about my thoughts on the season first before we actually start, so you could get where I'm going with this. So yeah, um, you know, to be honest, this was pretty much the weakest season of the Loud House. But it was a bad season. It was actually a really good season, but I don't like it. I don't think it's as good as the previous seasons. But it still doesn't mean it's a bad season. It's like saying like I like mustard on my hot dog, but I prefer ketchup. Like it's kind of like that. This is still a good season of the Loud House. Like it's really a good season, and I really enjoyed lots of episodes. And to be honest, actually, there are some episodes that people hate that I actually find underrated. Honestly, like you'll see. Anyways, stay with me, people. We're probably going to be live till midnight, I guess. Or if I go very fast, we may end a little short, but I'm guessing midnight. So the moment has come. Who's ready to? Who's ready to for me to review Loud House season 3? Yeah, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're not familiar with the show, you may not get what I'm talking about. So I recommend you watch the show first, then you'll understand. Because unlike Close Enough, this is not. I'm not talking about season 1 and season 2. I'm talking about season 3. So you may want like this. I won't blame you if you don't want to watch the video. I'm totally fine with that. And no, I am not wearing my suit this time around. I'm kind of getting itchy with it. Anyways, let's start. First episode, Tripped. It's about the Loud family going on a road trip, and the wacky shenanigans happen. Now, to be fair, I don't mind a road trip movie. I mean, I like the Goofy movie, and that was a great road trip. And there are so many other road trip movies I like. But in this case, it didn't really work out. Really, like it's like I would even say poorly. Even like there's a lot of running gags I really hated, like Lori farting and in the van, and also there's the stupid awful gag where Rio forgets Lily, and it's kind of like saying, "Oh, she's a bad mother." Okay, we get the joke. It's not funny. It's just stupid, really, very very stupid, honestly. And I just really hate this episode, honestly. Like, well, now, like there were a few funny moments, like the where they were in the jail bus and they look at that guy and he says, "Ooh, I love your bracelets." That was kind of funny, but the rest was just bleh. Now, like there's also a musical number they do, and usually Loud House is used good musical numbers, but this one was awful. They are not good with jazz. It's like I get they're trying to reference the Blue Brothers or something, but it's just terrible, honestly. Honestly, it's horrible and it's not really done well. So yeah, this is a bad episode. Didn't like it, and we shall move on to the next episode. All right, what was the next episode? Oh yeah, white hair. This was a It was actually okay. Actually, very okay. It's not great, not bad. It's just okay. In this episode, Lincoln, there's a new girl at school. Lincoln wants to ask her to meet her for the first time. So gets into his leather jacket and combs his white hair. And sisters ask him for help. And we all know the last time that he tried to ask a girl out, she turned out to be a bully. God, man. Yeah. So she punches. No, oh no, no. That's sorry. That's throwing. I'm still thinking about that awful episode where if a girl loves you, if a girl picks on you, she loves you. God, I hated that episode. Anyways, so yeah, Lincoln doesn't want their help because of last time, and I like that they poke back at previous episodes. Usually, we would just forget all the bad situations that happened. But anyways, so he gets knocked out down. Transfers into a rabbit's bunny. It turns out that rabbit is in a worse situation than Lincoln. They're full of rabbits. Like there's a bunch of rabbit sisters, and it is not pleasant. Like he even goes through like one of the problems I have with this episode is that the rabbit sisters have the exact same personality. I can't tell which one is this. Like, is Lori supposed to be that rabbit, or is Luna's supposed to be that rabbit? They mix it up a little bit. It's like if they kept it with 12. No, I'm sorry. If they kept it with 10, it would have been fine. But if they just keep mixing it up, it's like annoying. Also, there's also Lincoln's way of getting the girl. That was kind of depressing. Even I mean, I guess, but even the ending wasn't that satisfying. Like we know exactly what's going to happen, and it would have been interesting. I mean, but hey, at least we get a character reveal. But I'll save that for later. So yeah, okay episode, not worth remembering. All right. Hold on. Do something. My phone just tuned down, so I'm trying to reopen it. Instagram. Yeah, let's talk about this episode. In this episode, Pop Pop has a new girlfriend. The, I forgot her name. Hold on. You know what? We'll just say Papa's girlfriend for now. I'm sure she has a name. But anyways, and she really likes the kids so much. In fact, she even takes control of the kids' life by babysitting them. And she manages to be a nightmare. And a lot of kids are like, "Oh shit, we have to get rid of her." But then, this was actually a really good. I really love this episode. Actually, it was really good. Honestly, they go through. At first, they thought, "Oh, she's just making happy," but apparently, she has no one in her life, and she just wants to make people happy. Like even Papa realized that. It's she could be a control freak sometimes, but she's only doing it because she loves the kids. Also, Lynn Ninja makes me laugh. Honestly, I know it's really funny, and I love the scene where he's saying like, how'd you get in your ninja suit? How'd you get out of this? How'd you get out? Touche. Yeah, I forgot the line, but that was pretty funny. So yeah, and Papa is probably I'm gonna say this. Pop Pop's the best TV grandpa, no, cartoon grandfather of all time. Honestly, I love him. He's not like other old people. He's very energetic. So yeah, that was a really good episode. Now we got uh, a a masterpiece in my opinion. This may be my well, actually, there's one of more episodes coming, but this may be my second favorite Loud House episode, Royal to Nowhere. It was a great episode. This is another perfect example. Luna's my favorite Loud House character. She honestly gets a, honestly she gets her her she gets to shine this episode, and you can see like her buddy, like I don't know his name, like I keep forgetting their names, the side characters' names, but we'll check them later. Anyways, let's just say her bandmates for now. Her bandmate keeps like going, like she lives in the van and she thinks, oh crap, I'm gonna have this horrible life, but so she tries getting a job, but then she realizes that maybe like being a rock star isn't that bad. Like living in the van isn't bad. You can still be successful in life, and I love that moral. So at the end, also, I love that ending song. It was really awesome. So yeah, it was an amazing episode. And honestly, Luna episodes are honestly the best. Like I don't think we haven't had a bad Luna episode in a very long time. Yeah. All right. Now we're getting to a fridge too far. It was okay. I guess it's okay, but like honestly, I don't think it's that memorable of an episode. Honestly, it's just about like Lynn Senior. Yeah, I think I got it right. Trying to get his dream job, and to impress a critic, and like, and the loud kids keep fighting of what theirs, and they keep ruining their meals. Like it's just like it's not executed well, honestly. Like honestly, like they really have this like they just fight a lot about this in this episode. It's just what they do in these episodes just kind of crude, like stealing stuff, and just it's just kind of like pathetic. I did like the ending. I mean, he Lynn Senior did get his dream come true, but um, it's not enough to save this episode. It's not a bad episode. It's just eh. They could have done a lot better. Now we've got selfie and approve this episode. Now you should. I don't think I said this in my original Loud House video, but I really hate Lori. She's the worst Loud sister ever. I really and probably my least favorite Loud sister character from the Loud House next to Ryan. I fucking hate her. Like why do people like her? I have no idea why. I know actually no one likes her. Like every Loud House fan probably hates Lori. And this episode kind of shows why. Self improvement is horrible because Lori just wants to have a competition with her old friend, her old nemesis, trying to get and all this episode is her trying to make the perfect selfie, and then she gets beaten up by that her arch nemesis. Like, and honestly, she makes and everyone and like she even sabotages Bobby to do this. I mean, Bobby's your boyfriend for God's fucking sakes, and he even went all this way to like. I mean, she does realize like how she actually went through this way, but honestly, that doesn't save it because Bobby was too. That doesn't save it because she tricked Bobby, and Bobby's such a nice guy. I mean, like, sure, I don't think he's a great character, but honestly, Bobby is just like he just tricks her boyfriend. I mean, like God, like that's not that's so mean of her. Like, yes, they do like she and her arch nemesis do like connect together, and there is an explicit reason, but that's not enough to save this episode. It was a disappointment of an episode, and it shows why Lori's my least favorite Loud sister. All right, there's no place like Homeschool. This episode was also a bad one. Got two bad episodes in a row. In this episode, Lola gets homeschooled, even though I don't think we ever seen Lola homeschooled. And the other kids wants to get homeschooled, and they think it's just relaxing and sitting down and resting. But no, it's serious, serious, serious work. Now, I haven't been homeschooled, but I have been tutored as a child, and the tutor and like, excuse me, tutoring is very serious. Like, sure, I got a few breaks, but you have to pay attention in tutoring. In this episode, like a lot of kids just like sit around and do nothing. Like it's funny once in a while, but like then they realize, oh shit, we fucked up. What are we supposed to do? and like some of the jokes were were not that good, and also Lola gets screwed up in the end, even though she's just a child. Yeah, I know I don't. Maybe Lola isn't the best character, but even though I think she deserved that, I mean, and all the Wow House, she does get her second chance at the end, but even then, it was just filler. That's all it was, just filler. Like it's just nothing funny, honestly. All right, now we get City Strikers. No, sorry, I should have said City Slickers, honestly, because honestly, this episode is honestly um another pretty bad episode. Now you guys should know me by now. I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna say it clearly. I don't think the Consagrandes. I don't like the Consagrandes. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think they're good characters. I don't like them, and the fact that I have never seen their spin-off, but I think it's gonna suck, even if I never saw it. I don't like them. They're just wasted potential. They're just here to copy, paste the Loud, just like the Loud family. And yes, true, they are not that main part of the episode, but don't worry, there's a bunch of them. They're in plenty of other episodes, and I'm gonna get to why I don't like them, and we'll see. And you'll see very soon. So in this episode, Lori and Lincoln see Ryan's family. Everything looks, and Ryan hangs out with this cool kid. These cool kids who like. I don't like Ryan. God. Oh, never mind. Just let's continue. So yeah, she acts like she's cool, and honestly, Ryan's a complete dick in this episode. Like she just like makes Lincoln go through all this crap, and like even though Lincoln just wanted to see her, and like it turns out, oh, they don't mind what Ryan is. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's like honestly, like Ryan is honestly like a big liar. Like honestly, not even like not. It's just horrible. Like this is like honestly, she just torments Lincoln. Honestly, just to go with their group. And honestly, if you would have been just yourself, that would have been fine. I get there's a good. I can give it credit for having a good moral, but it's nothing. It's just a waste of potential. Oh, and Lori's side plot. Don't get me started. That was just completely filler. Oh, I want to be a city girl. Yeah, bullshit. So yeah, that was a bad episode. But now we're talking. Let's get to a worse episode. You got, and this is probably thank God the last of the bunch. The April Fool's series, Fool Me Twice. Now I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the April Fools. I didn't like the first one. I thought the second was kind of better, but still pretty bad. But this one, this is the worst of the bunch. Not just that, but this episode made Luan my least favorite character of the entire. Well, not maybe not my favorite least, but one of my least favorite characters in the entire show because of this episode. So in this episode, the same routine happens. The Louds try to escape Luan. So then they have an idea to hire stunt doubles, and like at first you think, oh, they'll just get pranked, but nope. Luan comes with this idea, like to just not just to use the stunt doubles to ruin their reputations. Are you fucking serious? Like to embarrass them, like my God, like, and this isn't supposed to be funny. No, this is not funny. This is absolutely damage. You know, as bad as at least in April Fool's rules, at least what Lance actions were just considered pranks. Sure, they weren't great pranks. They were pretty hard, dangerous pranks, but they were still pranks at the end of the day. This is fucking illumination. Like, this is fucking torture. Like, this is like. And by the way, the character's fate thing is not funny. It's just terrible. And the worst, you know what's also I realized in this when I was watching this episode? That if you remember in making the case, Luan got mad at Lincoln for filming her in public and everyone else. So, you know what that makes? It makes Luan a fucking hypocrite. My fucking God, Jesus. Luan's just so heartless, and soulless in this episode. I just hate her. The only joke I kind of laughed at was when Lisa was talking about the cameras and she that she installed for the Christmas gifts. I think that was the only joke I laughed. The rest is not funny, especially that joke where they hire an old stunt double for Lincoln. And, and yeah, I get that Lincoln is like the only kid in Royal Woods to have white hair, but it's not funny. It's just annoying. But now let's talk about the ending. People say this is the best part of the ending because, and oh, it could have been a good ending. I like the idea of it. It's just not executed well, like them trying to get back at Luan by moving to out of Royal Woods. Some people did feel sorry for when Luan, did feel bad when Luan was crying, and you know what was like, are you crying? Good. Yeah, I had no sympathy for Luan when she was crying. Like, and that's not saying you're sorry. That was just getting what you want at the end. I know it turns out to be a trick at the end. At the end, yeah, it turned out to be a trick. But honestly, it's just hard. It's just a mean episode. The characters didn't deserve any of this. All the jokes failed, and this just made Luann more hateable of a character than she was in the previous episode seasons. My fucking god, this episode sucks. Okay, let's do the next one. Neck games. This was actually a really good. We are finally getting a good episode of the Loud House. Finally, and in this episode, Lynn is about joins the basketball team, but turns out to be the worst team ever. And she wants to. She said, and she tries when she thinks they're terrible, so she hires with the help of Flip to find a better basketball team, and turns out to be like basketball lays, not really a basketball guy, but like, and apparently they Lynn starts to like realize how like she's not been being fair and like and she should like help other and she could give her team a chance. And I really love that. Like her like I love how like because we had like Lynn doesn't really get that much spotlight in the episode. I mean, sure there was Space Invaders which I like, but the last one episode was I would guess I don't know if this is counting. I don't know if this counts, but I guess it would be No Such Luck. And let's just say that's not her best episode yet. In fact, that's probably not her worst. I'll get to that a little more later. But like in this episode, Lynn actually like go like we actually get to experience in this episode like the basketball scene is great, and also like Lynn goes through like a phase of how she should like of how like teamwork teamwork works. And honestly, it was a really good episode, and I like it actually. I think it's a good episode. But now let's go on to the next episode, which is again, Pipe Dreams. Oh boy, this is a swell episode, and when I mean that, it sucks. Yeah, this episode kind of sucks. This episode, oh, yeah, this episode, the parents want the parents want a new they want a new bathroom. Yeah, the parents want a new bathroom, and so the Louds decide. So no, sorry. Oh yeah, there is. Sorry, it took so long. This episode, the parents are tired of waiting in line for the bathroom, so they decide to make a new bathroom, but keep it a secret. In this episode, this is just stupid. Like they think that the kids are learning about their bathroom, but they're not. I can't believe how stupid the Loud's parents are. Like they go like not only do they hide the bathroom, but like they really think that all this would be caused by the Louds, even though they know nothing about the bathroom. And by the way, most by the way, them hiding their bathroom is kind of a dick move to them. They could like what kind of parents hide their bathroom from their kids? I mean, that's just pathetic. There were and most of the jokes were like add some bad jokes in there also, and and a terrible third act. Yeah, the third act I found was terrible. You get yourself a pretty crappy episode. Yeah, I said, is it the worst? Well, maybe the worst, but like I still wouldn't reckon this seriously. This episode is just terrible. At the end of the day, like the fact that it's just them lying to their kids, it's just that's just terrible. All right, next episode. Phantom Pays. Yeah, that one. In this episode is just very annoying. Like, first off, they there's an actor who appears in Lucy's show, a vampire show, and Lori and Lenny are totally addicted to the actor. Oh, by the way, the character turns out name to be Tristan. To be honest, I'm kind of offended by that. Like, honestly, I don't want to honestly, when they're saying, "Ooh, Tristan's so cute," I'm thinking about me saying, "Oh shit, I don't want to date Lori ever." Bobby has to go through much shit with her. I don't want to be in that position. Uh, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So Lucy tries to get them out, and you kind of feel sympathy for her. I mean, this is her one show that she likes. Like everyone has a show they like, and they just want to be left alone. Like it's like one of your hobbies or something, and they totally ruined it for him. But it's okay that they ruined for him. Like, and you're supposed to think that Lucy's the bad guy here. Here, like honestly, it's just terrible. Like, by the way, turns out the actor never died. He survived, and honestly, like Lucy, like honestly, like I am glad that everything worked out, but it's just still a painful episode, honestly. Now for the next episode, which is I don't know why my yeah I always my phone always turns black. The next episode is Teachers Union. This episode, wait, is it Teachers Union? Yeah, this episode is just a. It was just a horrible episode, honestly. Like honestly, like first off, why do we want an episode focused on the teachers? I don't care about the coach. I care about the main characters. And it's just about Lincoln and Clyde ruining their life. Sure, they apologize, but honestly, it's just like it's just them ruining their lives. And honestly, like that's terrible. I mean, they they just do that just to get out of like sports. That's it. And honestly, when the coach tries to kill them, I want them to because they literally ruined their lives. Honestly, like it's just terrible. So it's not. Is it a bad episode? Yes, it is. It's completely a bad episode. And we shall now move on to the next episode, which is Head Poet Axis. To be honest, that this was we're now going back to really good. This episode, Glenn has this job of Glenn tries to help Lucy with her poems, and to be honest, it's actually a really nice episode. So, like, a great concept. Lucy gets good, and she gets a chance to. She gets what Luna dreams about, going through the Woods concert. But usually, a character would be smug about it. But in this case, Lucy actually is very calm. She actually wants Luna fulfill her dream. And at first, Luann's jealous, very upset, and like then she realizes, no, you should do it. And that's actually very nice of Luann. Like, yeah, I don't like Luann, but she doesn't mean she can't have a good episode once in a while. This was still a really good episode. Like, yeah, not only, yeah, Luann may be my least favorite character. One of my least favorite characters. Yeah, I may not like her yeah, and she's not, and she can be a jerk sometimes, but she can have a good episode once in a while. Even the yes, and this teaches us that even a bad character can be sympathetic once in a while. And yeah, this episode was pretty good to be honest. But now we're getting to an okayish episode. The Mad Scientist. Yeah, I think I got that right. In this episode, Lisa is tired of working at home because there's too much distractions. So she goes to the science lab, and honestly, like this episode was okay. Like there were some good jokes, and there is a nice message to it. Like, and I, but like I just found it very boring. Like I found because every Lisa episode seems to be bad. Like it's a pretty, it's just boring. Like Lisa is like there's nothing funny about it. It's just like her realizing that oh, you need to care a little bit more, and we know exactly what's going to happen. Like it's just very like it's just very like it's very predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen. So yeah, not a bad episode, but an okay episode. Oh ho ho! Now let's get on to Misconnection, which it's another okay episode. Lori and Bobby don't know what to talk about, and like they seem to miss each other a lot. But and yes, this is another episode of the Casa Grandes. God, sorry, we're not, but don't worry, this isn't their worst episode. I'll get to that very soon. In this episode, they just want to like. Apparently, they want to no, sorry. Bobby and Lori want to get back together, but they have trouble with with the connection and their environment. So they decide to see each other, and they have absolutely nothing to do. At first, they want to go home, but then Bobby gets locked in the bathroom. And I will admit, there is a nice scene where they are connected together. And but it leads to question the opportunity they could have had is that like I would have preferred if like like if Lori said, but because in the beginning they said that Lori wanted to tell her math story, but it was very boring. So maybe if she says boring and he says I still want to hear it, that would have been great. But nope, they just forgot about that plot. So not a bad episode, just a meant like 5 out of 10, I guess. So it's yeah, nothing interesting. Now we got Deal Me Out. This episode, it's another okay episode. It's actually a pretty good episode. It's about growing up, actually. It's a pretty good episode, honestly. Lincoln and Clyde think they're too old for Space Savvy, and like they do mature things, but deep behind their each other's back to go see Ace Savvy. And to be honest, it's another good episode that you don't have to grow up in order to do stuff. It's a really nice episode, and I actually really like it. It's good moral, and you can actually relate to Clyde Lincoln. Like every kid can because of this episode. Like it teaches people how to grow up, and it's actually a really good episode, in my opinion. So yeah, I like the episode. Now we're back to terrible. This episode's terrible. Frenzies. I'm gonna be honest, this is my least favorite episode of the bunch. And yeah, I do not like this episode. It's awful. Granted, it's not as awful as Brawl in the Family or Brawl in the Family, No Such Luck, or Making the Cake or all that crap. But it's still a pretty terrible episode. It's the worst of season 3. In this episode, Link apparently Lincoln's jealous that everyone's friends Friends is over, or that the Loud sisters have so much friends, and so they have all. So apparently they decided to have a competition to invite all their friends over, and like so many friends that it becomes crowded. And it's such a terrible episode. This is an episode where it's just a mean spirited episode. Like everyone's debating on which friends they went over. Like not even like even like even like some even characters that even wouldn't go that far, like Lenny or Luna wouldn't do this kind of shit, and it just makes me really angry at the end of the day. And oh wait, there's one thing I want to talk about. At the end they have this fight and the police come, and that's like domestic abuse over there. Like that's domestic abuse, honestly. Like like that like this is a kid show, right? Like this is a kid show, right? Like and they're all attacking each other and all that stuff, and the police come and they like are if you guys are trying to take a serious subject matter, just please stop it. Like I get the police like maybe he was also there to kick out their friends, but I think he was mostly there just because they were attacking each other, and that's like if you really think about it, like most of these bad episodes I cover, they're always attacking each other. This is actually really domestic abuse, honestly. Like yeah, I'm calling that scene domestic abuse. So yeah, this was an awful episode. Probably the worst of the whole season. I fucking hated that episode, and hopefully we never have to talk about it again. Well, maybe at the end, I guess. Now let's talk about, but yeah, Pastor Bedtime. Yeah, yeah, I pronounced that right. Pastor Bedtime. Okay, let's talk about this episode. In this episode, Liam, I think that's how you pronounce it, invites all his friends to go over to to the to his farm, but girl Jordan's throwing a party, and like so while Liam's sleeping, they sneak at the party and pretty much get humiliated. And honestly, it's a meh episode. Like sure there were some funny jokes there and there, but the most part, you know exactly what's going to happen, and it's the Riley reveal story. Like if you're trying to make cliches, just make them work. Like try to add more to it, but they don't really add anything with it. They just add the same stuff again, and of course they get humiliated. Like you know exactly what's gonna happen. Liam's gonna find out. You knew exactly. He's not stupid, Liam. So yeah, it's not bad, but it's good and bear. Shop Girl. This was a nice episode, honestly. This episode, yeah, I think so. Oh, no, sorry. Lenny is too nice to was waits in line and doesn't get any stuff because she's too nice. So the cloud try to tough her up, and that's not actually that bad concept. I actually like this episode for its concept, and we get to see that sometimes being nice is the right thing. It's not Lenny's just super nice, and that's what the and nice things could bring joy to you. Honestly, like it's a nice lesson, honestly, for kids. And honestly, I really like the fact. I also like that Lenny can't just because maybe the Louds are mean, but they could. It's just a persona, and each of us have a different personality in ours, like a different persona. And I really like about this episode. It's really great. So next episode, and this episode is called um, this episode is called "Grown Grown and Out." I think I pronounced that right. Yeah, That's right. Um, yeah, this episode, this is like a episode about Lola, and Lola isn't that really good of a character in my opinion. I mean, she's not terrible. She's not the worst. Like she's no Lawyer Luann, but like it's like she's the best bride kid you got. Um, so yeah, this like honestly, I really like this episode because she actually like she's it actually gives more character to Lola, and you actually get to feel what she's the struggle she's going to through. So at the end, this is a pretty great episode, I would say. Not the best, but it's still pretty great. Like seeing what Lola's going through and like her struggles. Now we get an okay episode, like not great, but still okay. And this is called Breaking Dad, Breaking Bad, Breaking Dad. Yes. So in this episode, so no, sorry. So in this episode, Lynn Senior wants to go to the music festival with his friends, but he has no one to babysit Lily since the preschool's closed. So he asked Mr. Grouse to babysit him, and at first he's like crying a lot, crying, 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 crying. She's crying a lot, crying. But then like she gets better with Mr. Grouse. She even calls him Papa, Dada, or Daddy, or something, whatever. Anyways, and Lynn Senior's like confused about that, so he has to try and make it up. But honestly, why don't we have an episode focused about Lynn Senior? Like, make okay, like he had a few good episodes, great episodes, but like honestly, why do we need an episode surrounded about him? Like honestly, and also like it's just very like it's just and Lynn Senior is just like always like trying to make Lily look like attached to him. Like, and it turns out the only reason why she was attached to Mr. Krause and called him Daddy is because he was wearing his sweater. That's it. Yeah. And he keeps crying and crying about it. Well, it is your fault that you left him with Mr. Krause. So yeah, it's kind of like your fault, but it's not a bad episode. I mean, I guess their part is in the right place, but like they could have done much better. And now we went from a okay, we were starting okay, now back to awful with ruthless people. And this one, I'm gonna go insane with this episode. This episode is about where like there are some termites in the house, and the Louds have to all go. Each of them split up to go to a different family. Half of them goes to Pop Pops, and half of them goes to Aunt Ruth's. So the five of them, which are the five now, so we're not besides the rest, we're gonna split them up. I want to talk about the five characters that go for the story. Six characters that go for hell: Lincoln, Lynn Senior, Lynn Junior, Lola, Lori, and Luna. They because here's what happens: they decide to switch with Pop Pop instead of going to Aunt Ruth's. But turns out Papa nothing works at the retirement home. Like there's no swimming pool, there's no there's no buffet, there's nothing. It turns out that Aunt Ruth has like goes to like they go to this lake house and they just go through hell in this episode. Like honestly, and it's honestly just boring. This episode, it's honestly just like these characters go through torture. Honestly, like I'm not gonna blame. I mean, it's not the characters' fault, but like honestly, it's just like they go through torture, and then when they finally get to the lake house, they realize, oh shit, Lana brings her tour nights. Now I'm realizing, oh shit, this is all Lana's fault because Yeah, because you have to free the termites. No, they're dangerous animals. Is Lana this stupid? Honestly, like I like Lana, but not. I realize this is all her fault. So in the end, they're all fucked up. They have to go to Aunt Ruth's house, and it's just a nightmare. And by the way, saying at least they get each other is a bullshit excuse. It's a bullshit excuse, honestly. Anyways, now what an awful episode. That was actually a really good episode. What would Lincoln do? In this episode, it's like sure they use the lawyer reveal story, but they actually do it well, better than better than the better than the previous episode I mentioned. Yeah, so in this episode, like Lincoln has to build gets asks mom's help to build like a wood a stool, and he succeeds. Next, he wants to build a birdhouse, but he also succeeds, which he steals from his pet bird. And then now he has to build a stool for no stool a drawer a dresser for his teacher. And honestly, like at first you think it's going to succeed, but he actually tells the truth. And and you can tell and then he even makes it up by making a shitty version of a stool. And the teacher gives him and yeah, there is no apology, but well, maybe there is, but it goes I like how the struggles they go through this episode. It's really a great episode, honestly, and it's definitely the best of season 3 so far. Now, scale scales of justice. Let's talk about this episode. I think this I think this is like a this is I think this is an environmental episode, and you know what? Say and usually I and this is an environmental episode, and it actually works. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Lana wants to save her river, and so constructions people take it down, and apparently she creates this mud monster and to scare people, but Lana isn't doing this to have fun. She's actually doing it just to protect the endangered species which are fishes. And yeah, it's solved at the end with them bam, just doing it. But you see the struggles that Lana have to go through, and at the end she realizes the hard truth. Protests, keep protesting, or like write petitions, and it's very easy. And I like the ending. And also it makes it's understandable. There's chemistry to it. It's really a great episode, honestly. This is probably my one of my favorite episodes of this season. And honestly, I don't blame. It's a really great episode, and it shows what and you can actually and it shows it's a lot of her best, honestly. So yeah, I love this episode. Crime of Fashion. It's good. It's actually a really good episode. Lenny gets fired from her job, so Lincoln and Clyde have to solve this case. And I like the twist at the end. It's a really great twist, and Lenny gets her job back. And it's honestly they go through all this great episode, all these great episodes. I'm not sorry, episodes. All these great twists, and it's honestly really it's a really good episode, honestly. And there's lots of chemistry for this episode, and also the humor with the humor is really funny, and how you can change the scarves into and changing the scarves into different fashion clothes is actually pretty funny. Now we're going to another good episode called Absent Minded. In this episode, Lincoln Lincoln Clyde no sorry Clyde just want to work for being absent minded for not no, he didn't. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm an idiot. Let me rephrase that. He wins an award for being in school every single day. Why is it absent-minded? But he wins an award for being in school every day, and then he realizes in his journal, yes, he writes everything down in his journal. He realizes, oh shit, I missed one day. So he talks to the principal, and he decides to says, I want to make you like in charge of school. So he's in charge of school, and he realizes, oh shit, what have I, what have I, oh shit, I need to we have to find my documents. So he also there's a nice touch to it where he does everyone's chores just to make them happy, and like the principal is actually gets the best is actually like usually in other episodes he come out as like comes out as kind of an asshole, but here he actually has understanding. Like some principals can come out to be assholes, but I like in here like how he like goes through all this like he even gives his local golf part. And he's understanding of how he lied, and they said and he still makes him like in charge of school. And it's actually really nice of him. Like it's not what you usually see. At the end, it's just back to square one. But it's actually really cool, and I really like this episode. So overall, good episode, honestly. Now we're getting Stella in my heart. This episode introduced a new character named Stella, and they all think she has a crush on her. No, she has a crush on each one of them, and they go into having a fight, and they all have a fight of who wants to be it. And I like this episode honestly. Yeah, I said, yeah, I will admit Stella's. I will admit yeah, there are some jokes that fail, but I actually like this episode because it has a good There's a nice message of a girl could be friends with a boy, but not her boyfriend girlfriend. It's actually a really good message. And Stella is actually a really nice character, well developed character here. She just likes hanging out with them, not being their boyfriend girlfriend. And honestly, some girls are meant to be just friends, not boyfriend girlfriend. A guy and a girl can be friends at the end of the day. It really makes sense. And honestly, it really works perfectly. Honestly, yeah, this episode was honestly really good. I like it, and I really like and also Clyde without glasses gives me nightmares. Honestly, be warned. I'm warning you about that right now. He's gonna give you nightmares. Anyways, Let's go to Singing Bowl. In this episode, this is a good episode. Honestly, like gathering all the older sibling sisters in the Lau family together, making a great episode. So yeah, this is an okay episode. Like it's not great, or not bad. It's okay, but there are some problems with it. There is okay, so the episodes all the old so they have to get so all the older sisters have to give the next sister in line, and it's not to babysit. It's not Lenny. It's not Luna or Luan. It's Lynn, and apparently she's the toughest of the bunch, and she's usually known to damage a lot of people for energetic sports and tomboy with her energetic sport energy. So at first they asked Lincoln, but even because honestly, people may say it's unfair that Lincoln didn't get this chance because honestly but honestly because he's proven to be self responsible. But honestly, Lincoln has had chances in the future. Sure, they fucked up like the babysitting episode, but he still got an opportunity. So it's time to give Lynn an opportunity. So yeah, giving Lynn an opportunity to babysit is not a bad idea. It could work. There is one issue though, and trust me, she makes the kids go through hell in this episode. Like she makes them go. She pretty much does the same thing like in Space Invader, where she makes them go wrestling. She makes them try drinks. Honestly, yeah, it is kind of painful to see the kids. I mean, and then she does get paid, but loses all their jobs. She even takes jobs at the end of the day. But honestly, the best part of it is the third act, like where the sister says, "You know what? We had enough. They're taking Lynn to the worst kids ever to babysit." So they take her there, and then they say like, and then they feel bad first, like saying like, "We have to get her back." And honestly, that's a nice third act, like Lynn teaching the worst kids you can ever imagine. Like these kids are horrible, horrible, and someone like Lynn, like who just wants to babysit, like doesn't deserve it. Like I mean, all she wanted was just to babysit. So like they save her and she's managed to teach the kids. Like that was a great third act, honestly. Like these are the right kids for her. Like they're tough. Like maybe she just needed kids that are well disciplined. Like none of those kids were for her. But does it save the damage? No, it doesn't. Honestly, it's not a bad episode. It's pretty decent if you're asking me. But like, it's not enough to save the. But there were some damages done to the kids. Like that scene was pretty nightmaric. And honestly, like, yeah, I get that some kids aren't going to be for you, but it's just not that work. It's just okay at the end. It does have a nice moral, but honestly, it's not the best that season 3 has to offer. Now we're going through The Spy Who Loved Me. This is a crap episode. Now we're getting to the worst of the Casa Grandes. God, I don't hate them as much as Lori, or Ronnie Ann even, but they're still not good characters. In this episode, the Casa Grandes spy on Ronnie Ann to see if she's okay. Yeah, I get that they're supposed to be like it's supposed to be a joke, like no, I said this is an episode that fits in the Casa Grande series. Why didn't they make this the first episode of Casa Grandes? Honestly, because it fits in the Casa Grandes. Honestly, not in this show. Because in this episode they spy on her, see if she's okay, and honestly, all they do is just spy on her. That's it. There's nothing new. There's nothing interesting, and it's just annoying. Honestly, like I get they're supposed to be an overprotected family, but honestly, this is just terrible. Like like even the Lion King 2, like Simba had a reason to spy on Kiara. Like he had like he was worried that the outsiders were going to come to him, like because of his tragic past. At least I could give him that credit. But with this one, there's just very stupid. And also, by the way, Bobby getting stuck in the freezer, that's an old running gag. It's not funny anymore. It's just stupid. So yeah, they they're attacked by rats. Ronnie Ann saves them by tricking them by eating a pretzel, and nothing is funny. And everything's back to normal. And nothing is funny also, well, only except for the parts where Flynn was attacking the machines. That was kind of funny, but it's just a very, very, very stupid episode. Now we get. Well, actually, let me save that episode for last. It's really loud music. Let me save it for last. House lies. This episode, we're doing the lying thing again. Every show has done it. The liar story. This one, Lisa makes glasses. She's tired of the family lying, so Lisa makes glasses so they could tell the truth. She even installs cameras in the house. Fucking cameras, honestly. And yeah, I guess that Lisa's supposed to learn her lesson in this episode. But honestly, she gets like everyone just acts like cold dicks. Everyone just acts like cold dicks. Like these are not white, and the monster's like, oh, they're just white lies. No, they're not. They're not white lies. They're still big fucking lies. And they have to tell the truth, and they all can't stand it because lying is normal. I also hate this ending, and also the moral is awful. It's saying that it's okay to lie. It's just a white lie sometimes. No, 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 no. It's horrible. Like again, white lies are one thing. This is not white. Those are not white lies. They're huge lies. Like honestly, and like it's just there's just a nasty tone to it at the end of the day. It's a pretty bad episode, if you're asking me. Now we're getting to Game Boys. Yep, this one is pretty good. Playing it's a new game. Link he borrows Lincoln, and it's like a nice episode about friendship here. So he spies on Lincoln, and also sure you know exactly what's gonna happen, but it's well executed, honestly. And like you can tell how good of a friend Lincoln is, and honestly, like sorry for that. They go through they go yeah, it's been 1 hour already. Like they go through chemistry together. Clyde's just worried about his game. Like there's even this condition where they have to put the family has to put Clyde's family has to put their electronics away to it's like a day without no electronics. And honestly, so he's just worried about his game getting destroyed. And honestly, I like this episode. It's honestly a great episode. And honestly, it's probably it's a great episode. And honestly, I really like this episode. It's honestly sure there are flaws. There is one flaw I do have, and that is that Lincoln did kick Clyde out of the house to solve his problems. But it's like kind of an out character move for Lincoln. But honestly, the rest is just great. Now we're getting to an episode I like the episode. Everybody loves Lenny. In this episode, Lenny's friends and her class friends and work friends meet together, and they don't get along. So Lenny decides to gather them around, and they don't get along at first. Yeah, you may think, oh, this is going to be an episode I hate because I usually hate when the characters are getting along story, but it actually kind of works, honestly. What I love about this episode is that Lenny is actually a sympathetic character for once. She actually feels like you can actually feel bad for her, and even these guys even when they realize. I also like that scene where they're at the mall. Lenny didn't force them to come together; they just came together. And then they realize, oh shit, we're told assholes, and then they actually apologize. And sure, friends may not get along perfectly together, but you still have to make it happen better for your other friends. And honestly, it's actually a really nice, heartwarming episode. And I also like that, they could get along, how they could get along, and like, sure, the party was a disaster, but they still tried their best to make Lenny happy. You should think of the others than your friends. It's actually a really good episode. So yeah, I like this episode. It's not the best, but I still like it. Now we're getting to Middleman. Everyone hates this episode for some reason, but I was saying why. Well, let me explain. In this episode, Lincoln Clark became prepared to middle school, so Lynn teaches them the roots of how to be tough in middle school. And people hate this episode because it reveals that Lynn is a bully, and that's what people hate about her. And honestly, I'm gonna explain that very soon, honestly. But honestly, actually like this episode. Honestly, yeah, it's an unpopular opinion, but I like this episode. Like, first off, I always wanted Clyde and Lincoln to be in the middle school, and it actually really well done. They go through the chemistry of showing how middle school is for them. And yeah, even if it's one day of the tour, you get to see the struggles they go through and how it actually feels it feels real, honestly. And this is how most middle schools are mostly like. I mean, that's how I remember middle school. Also, also, in this episode, also this gives a new character side to Lynn. We actually get her backstory of how she used to always be bullied all the time, and and how she's oh she the only way to be not and how she used to get bullied all the time and get tortured by everyone, and then learning how to be tough makes her better. But honestly, to be honest, actually, why I say honestly two times? Anyways, to be honest, this actually gives Lynn a new side, and I don't understand why everyone hates this. Yeah, sure, it kind of reveals that Lynn's a bit of the bully, but that's not being a bully. That's just trying to conquer your fears, honestly, just to stand out of your way. And it shows that Lynn didn't have that great of a childhood, and it actually goes. through through a lot like it actually she actually like goes through a lot of development, and she could tell that she actually cares for Lincoln, and unlike something like no Such Luck, she actually like cares for him and wants the best for him and Clyde. And yeah, if you're asking your question, is Lynn the bully? I say no. Honestly, no. Lynn's just, I guess Lynn is just energetic. Let's just say she's just if she's just honestly she's just acting like she's just basically like a tomboy almost like a girl acting like a she's just like a tomboy. All tomboys act like that. She's basically honestly yeah, I like this episode and it was a pretty good episode. Is the best of season 3? No, I wouldn't say that, but I still like it. Now we got Tears of Fear. We went from a good underrated episode I just like. People say that was a bad episode. This was a terrible episode. Yeah, it was terrible. But honestly, Tears of Fears is just horrible. Lincoln and Klein have to learn to be like brave. And honestly, the bully. God, I hate that guy so much. He's just a terrible, not well written. Like people said, Lynn was a bully, but if she is a bully, she's actually a well written bully. She has chemistry to her character. Here, he's just making fun of them because he likes seeing them fear. So they have to practice to face their fears of scary stuff. And by the way, here's the catcher. Bobby knows this horror place, and Bobby shows them saying, "See, there's nothing to be worried about." And then they get fired from their job because Bobby told them. Bobby said he works here. What the fuck? Honestly, did you just mess it up? So yeah. And by the way, the boys never see them coward, and they said, "Oh, she's the reason for the exit only." Bullshit. I hate that guy so much. Honestly, oh God, I just hate him. I hate these kind of bully characters. So yeah, honestly, not a great episode. T Tail's Heart. In this episode, Lola wants accidentally, well, not accidentally, she on purpose borrows Lucy's creepy doll, and then she accidentally spills tea on her and ruins her. And honestly, I kind of like this episode. Honestly, they go for the sure. At first, you think it's the doll coming back from the dead, creepily, but it's actually a really good episode. Honestly, that creepy doll thing actually makes her tell the truth. And honestly, Lucy actually they actually have a good chemistry, Lucy and Lola. I like how they take different characters that you don't usually see together and make them bond. It's actually really a nice episode. And it's nice to see them connect. And it's honestly also the ending made me laugh. Turns out that Lana has been actually taking the doll places and putting her in places. It was really funny, actually. At first I thought, oh, it's just gonna be a prank at the end, but just to teach Lola a lesson. But no, it actually turns out to be a prank, and that's what really saves this episode. And honestly, I really like it. It's actually a really good episode. So yeah, I like it. But all right, so we got 2 more episodes left. Sorry, it's just text. In this episode, it's called "The Loudest Thanksgiving." And my God, did I hate it! Sorry if that was loud, but let me explain why I hate this episode. I'm gonna get into spoilers in this episode. This episode, Bobby and Lori want to spend Thanksgiving together, but apparently they can't. So each of them decides to go to their house, and the family's worried. So then they decide to to go in this so they decide to go to this house where so yeah they decide to go to this house. So they decide to go to their house, each to the Loud's houses, and yeah, I think I said that right. And then they have this bow where like they're deciding which family's food is and talent is better. Warrior Bobby's, and honestly, this is honestly, this is probably the most typical story the Loud House has ever told. Honestly, the Battle of the Families, but you could do this well. Honestly, I don't mind them doing it. You could do it well if you had the right execution, but it's executed terribly. And do I have to mention that I also don't like the Casa Grandes because they are not in the previous episodes they're just bland and predictable, but here they're horrible people. And I'm not just talking about them. The Louds are also horrible, also. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're so horrible that it makes me feel bad for Lori and Bobby, two characters I don't like. Do you realize that I'm actually feeling sorry for two characters I don't like? My God! And by the way, the fighting is just unpleasant. It's kind of just nasty. I hate that. I get that. Like unless you're trying to make it well executed, it's not well. But it's not well executed. It's just two families fighting. That's annoying. So then Lori and Bobby bail on them, and they go to they go to Flips to celebrate Thanksgiving, and then the family follows them, and then they say, "Oh, we're sorry." Then they tell them, "We're sorry," but they didn't say they're sorry because they felt they're wrong. They just sorry because Bobby told them. God, that was an awful episode. And then at the end, they all have this musical dance number, like in every other special, I guess. But it's just I did not like this episode. I hate it, and thank God I think this is no, it's not the last we're going to see the Casa Grandes. But thank God this episode. Thank God this is there's a better half an hour episode that's better than this bull crap. This is our last and next episode. This was our next and last episode. I don't know why I switched these two, but let's talk about the last and best episode. In my opinion, the best episode of season 3. Really loud music. I adore this episode. This episode is what season is it? What season 3 is all about. This is my favorite episode of The Loud House. So yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, Luna wants to write a song, but she thinks, "Oh, will everyone love it?" So she has this trip where everyone's singing, and at the end she puts pop, and everyone likes it, so she decides to do pop. But the villains think "Oh, it's not her," so they fix her up for the show. Honestly, I love everything about this episode. I love the songs; they are awesome. I love the character arc of Luna. It's a good reason why she's the best character in the entire show. I love the villains; they're awesome, and I also love the final act. It was the best act. Do you remember what my favorite song is? It's probably "Play It Loud" or "What Have I Done." But honestly, I also love the chemistry between the characters. They're awesome. I also love the ending. It's a nice moral, and I love the moral. I love everything about this episode. This is a perfect Loud episode, and I think I found hard about it, and I think it may be my favorite Loud House episode. This is an amazing episode, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, now those were all the episodes. I think I don't know, but I think those were all the episodes. So yeah, now let's go through my top 5 least favorite episodes first. Number 5 will be twice is number 5. Number 4 is Tripped. Number 3 is Ruthless People. And number 2 is Fears for Fears. And number 1 is Frenzy's Nightmare of an Episode. Now for the best. No, sorry. Yeah, never mind. Let me continue. I thought something happened in my live stream, but something just came up. All right, here are my favorite episodes. Number 5, Everybody Loves Lenny. Number 4, Net Gains. Number 3, Nefri, Head Poets Accents. Number 2, Royal to Nowhere. And number 1, really loud music. And that's all I got to say. So yeah, this was a this was a pretty good season. Not as great as the first two, but it was still a pretty good season. Now you may be wondering where are we getting season 4 or a 4 video. Well, I'm not gonna make. We're probably gonna get it next year, probably. Like I'm not gonna make like. I know I said I am gonna watch season 4. That's for sure. I am gonna make a review out of it, but we're probably not gonna get it for a very long time because like I just watched season 3 and and I'm planning to and I do have like lots of plans for my for the end of the year. Like I have a review a review another TV series review coming up, and I also have and also I have to talk about. I also have to do my 5th anniversary live stream, of course. But now, apparently, before I go, I just want to say I want to express some unpopular opinions I have on the show. Actually, maybe unpopular even. So yeah, let's talk about my opinions. So yeah, this season, honestly, what do I like about this season? Honestly, my opinions on it. It was really good. What I like about it is, one, they actually gave us characters that usually have small screen time, and they actually gave them big role. Like Lynn, for example, we get more development on the like Lana, like all the like most of the Loud sisters actually get character developments. Number two, like these sure there were some flaws with it, like the Casa Grandes were annoying, and but they still but even then, besides the Casa Grandes, they were still able to put some good, nice side characters like Stella and Lincoln's friends, and that's what I like about this season. Like they were able to make good, like have a whole full of side characters, but I'm sure season 4 will be even better. So thank you guys for watching. And to stay tuned for probably my 5th anniversary live stream. And also, I'm going to be dedicating this whole channel to celebrate my 5th anniversary. So yeah, stay tuned. And also, one more thing. My Tune in this month because I am going to be releasing my very first Loud House fan fiction. You could join me on my fan fiction page, and I'm honestly, I'm going to be writing stories. Like, well, I'm not going to tell you what and I may be adding like some adult themes to it also. Like, not like adult, but like some like adult messages. Let's just say like what both kids and adults can relate to. So yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. So yeah, bye.